Number one on the agenda, 2017-038, appropriation for $147,000 for Adam Shore House next Seawall repair grant. Upon the recommendation of the Director of Municipal Finance and with the approval of the Mayor, an appropriation in the sum of $147,000 to the Department of Public Works, Adam Shore House next Seawall repair grant fund, number 3444, same to be transferred from Motel Fund 4512, open space.
Can I see this? Deirdre Hall is here from the Department of Public Works to speak to this. Hello. Hello.
So this is an appropriation order for $147,000 for the match requirement for the EPA grant from the state. The state is giving us $441,000 for the permitting and design of 6,000 linear feet of seawall along Adam Shore and Houghs Neck. The seawall that we're going to be planning and designing was part of a 2011 seawall study. Those seawalls were ranked all C's and D's in that study. There's been some review of the seawalls. They have all their different types, precast. They have revetments, and there was some substantial damage in the. I believe they said in the revetments, in the stone revetments, there are voids in between the rocks, which are causing issues with wave action and undermining the stability of the revetments. There's cracking in the precast concrete block seawalls. The cast-in-place seawall has washout behind the seawall, so they're losing their stability from behind the seawall. Additionally, some of the granite block wall units are starting to fail because they're in unsuitable soils. This seawall is pretty important in the sense that it protects not only the land, but also a lot of critical infrastructure. We have sewer, water, and gas utilities immediately adjacent to the seawall. Also, that's an emergency artery, as you know, for that part of town. The planning has some environmental issues, some tidal concerns, flood elevation issues, and also we're taking into account potential sea level rise in design. So this is a 3-to-1 grant, so we're just looking for that additional city match so we can access the additional city funds.
Great, thank you. Councilor Forrest.
Thank you, Madam President. The City of Quincy will be working with time on this. They have the same firm that did our Edgewater Drive Seawall project. Really great for us to work with. The Seawall permitting process under the past administration, it really took a very, very long time. And so as we're looking at this, we're looking at a 20-month project schedule just for design, engineering, and permitting. This seawall section, so 6,000 linear feet, it picks up all of the highest risk repetitive loss areas that we've had, particularly the northeast facing storms. So the section that is going to get addressed is Marymount from the intersection of Shore Ave, Narragansett, Chickatawbit, and Norton. That area has really had a lot of loss. Even just this last storm, we were pumping water out of the seawall. It followed the shoreline Norton Road, picks up Shelton Road, which has had some pretty significant damage, goes down and it picks up Post Island, and it also picks up the Willows. So, you know, you're looking at the area that had the most repetitive loss, a significant section of seawall. And the first part of the piece of the puzzle is to get this engineering permitting design done. And we will be having a neighborhood meeting as soon as we get that coordinated with time bond. I would say probably a month or so from now to let people understand what the impact is going to be in the scope of the work. And I would like to give a shout out to my predecessor, Leo Kelly, that the Motel Tax Fund does allow for seawall repairs, and that's where we will be utilizing the funds for the match. I think it's funds very well spent in protecting thousands of homes in our coastal neighborhoods. So I would like to move the appropriation and ask my colleagues to join me in supporting this very important project for the residents of Ward 1. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilor. Yes, Councilor Finn.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. One of the things I just want to be clear is that the actual grant was for $441,000, correct, that we've received from the Massachusetts Executive Office of...
Correct.
Okay, great. And again, this is a match that's consistent with the grant, which is part of the grant that I presume we applied for.
Yes.
Right, okay, fantastic. So essentially this is leveraging close to $500,000 in resources. The other thing that's absolutely amazing to me is the number of permits required. That one of the end products of this will be that you'll have essentially permits in place to actually proceed afterwards, correct?
Correct. Yes, lots of permits. It's spelled out with an ENF through MIPA, we're going to need an order of conditions from the Concom, Army Corps permitting, 401 water certification, filed under the NIPD's construction general permit, Chapter 91 license, and potentially CZM federal consistency.
Right. Again, I'm going to join Councilor LaForest in supporting this. I think it's, again, you know, oftentimes, given the level of age and wear and disrepair of different cities' assets and the like, that some people will want to shake their heads and say there's nothing we can do. But I think actually the pursuit of this is indicative of really, there is something we can do, and we've started that. So I'm happy to support it. Thank you.
Councilman Kroll.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Just so the body is aware, I had a conversation with the auditor, and I'll let her kind of chime in on it, but just to give you a flavor as to what the, you know, what the cash flow looks like in the motel tax, because I know we'll be having some subsequent conversations regarding that as well, so I just recognize the auditor.
Through you to the council.
Currently. Oh my God.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Currently, there's a balance in the hotel motel, in the open space portion of $1,960,000. And that is after we have taken out the debt service payment of roughly $666,000. We will be expecting 2 more payments in that will go towards this open space portion, and that will be for the next 2 quarters. So we're probably expecting maybe another between $500,000 and $600,000 into this account. And currently, right now, we just pay the debt service. There was a park bond quite some time ago. We're currently paying that bond out.
Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Madam Auditor.
Sorry, Madam President.
Yes.
Can you just clarify that again, Madam Auditor? You said that there's an expected $500,000 to $600,000 coming into the account? So from the motel tax?
Correct. We receive quarterly payments. We've received the first 2 quarters, so we have another payment that we will be getting at the end of this quarter, which is the end of March. That will get posted, I would assume, in the Treasurer's office, you know, once it's received from the state. And then we will get another quarterly payment at the end of June.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Great, thank you. So is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion by Councilor LaForest, seconded by Councilor Finn. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll?
Councilor King.
Yes.
Councilor Kroll. Councilor Kroll.
Yes.
Councilor Finn.
Yes.
Councilor Harris.
Yes.
Councilor LaForest.
Yes.
Councilor Leeang.
Yes.
Councilor Calhoun.
Yes.
President Hughes.
Yes.
9 members.
Thank you very much.